Psalm 133, verse 1. Shir ha'ma'alot leDavid. Hine ma tov u'ma na'im. Shevet achim gam yachad. So we get here, the beginning of Psalm 133 now, another psalm of the ascents, this time another one of David. And so this one would be a psalm of ascents written by David, I think. We get then again, behold, the attention getter. We've seen this before. This is something like look or behold. And then we get ma in two different cases here. How good and how pleasant. The vav there in the middle, and notice is written as a shurik in front of the boom-off letters. But let's come back and think about this idea of ma. It initially is a question, so you might think, what good and what pleasantness? But here it's used more as an exclamation. I was trying to think of an example of one of these, and it's almost like when you would use an interrogative like the word what. When a friend tells you something that's rather extravagant, you might say, what? With an exclamation point. You're not asking a question. Maybe you are, like in the sense of, can that even happen? But this is a common way in language to use interrogatives as exclamations. So we would say something like, how good, and maybe we could supply it is, how good it is, and how pleasant it is. Next, we get shevet. Here we have the infinitive construct of the root yashav. Remember, in the one vav yods, in the infinitive construct, we lose the initial vav and we get the tav on the end and then segalization, shevet. So you could see this as a nominal, so something like an infinitive construct truly functioning as a verbal noun, the dwelling of brothers even together. That would be what is so good and what is so pleasant. This thing, the dwelling of brothers. You also could see this infinitive construct functioning as a temporal clause, which we've seen very often before as well with the infinitive construct. The difference is the temporal clause usually has a preposition, a bait or something like that. That doesn't mean this can't be a temporal clause and it gets translated into English very often like that, and that would be something like, behold how good and how pleasant it is when brothers dwell even together. And this idea of gam yachad has to do with unity. And so what probably is a picture of family lifestyle being close together becomes in this context the goodness and the pleasantness of covenant life together.